beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Crystal, this is Bond Book Reviews, and today is that time of the month where we film and have fun with Pickpong. If you're unfamiliar with what Pickpong is, it is my monthly TBR game that I play to determine what my reads are for the month. And this month we are back to normal. Last month I had to do a random draw. This month we are playing. However, I'm having to film this intro in a very echoey, empty room upstairs because all my furniture is downstairs right now. That will change later today, but I need this intro filmed while my daughter is still sleeping. She may wake up at some point, so you may end up hearing her, but for now, I've got time, I've got silence, and I have an empty room. So we're gonna film this intro just to tell you a little bit about what my plans are for the month. And then later today, I'll do the throws and editing Crystal will chuck them in and we will talk about what I'm gonna read. But before we dive into that, I just need to highlight something absolutely amazing and fantastic for my Australian followers and watchers, or if there's anyone in America that has an Australian that they want to share this with, please spread the word. So my lovely friend Kira, she has decided to, on her maternity leave, create a beautiful earring creating business. And she knows that I am a bookish lover, so she decided to do an entire bookish collection because she knows that I've got so many people that love books and I want to spread the word because they are absolutely stunning. I don't currently have a pair on at the moment because my house is chaotic and I can't find the pairs that I own. Typical me. But I will be putting some photos up on the page here of some of the amazing bookish collection designs that she has done, and you can go check it out down below as well. She's also done a collaborative edition with Booktopia, which are green and look fantastic, and at the moment she's offering you 10% off at Booktopia if you go through her website, which I'll also have linked down below. So go check out her socials, follow her there, support her. She's an amazing Australian small business, and I just want her little passion to grow because it is fantastic and she deserves all the love and all the praise because she has created these literally handmade from scratch, hand painted, they're beautiful. And they are mainly romance lover based, but there are a variety of other earrings that are non-bookish on her website as well, so go and check it out. I guarantee you'll find something that you love. And the prices are fairly reasonable as well, about $15 per stud and I think $20 to $25 for dangles. Don't quote me on that, but pretty reasonably priced for, handmade products. For the month of May, I am going to be participating in the readathon that is hosted by Neva from Reading with Neva and Nicole from Dusty Book Sniffers, which I am totally blanking on the, I think it's Kindle MAYhem in the month of May, where they pretty much said that you need to read the next 20 books or the first 20 books in your Kindle Unlimited TBR or the most 20 recent books you've added to your Kindle. Well, what I am going to do is read hopefully the next 20 or the most recent 20 that I've added to my TBR on my Kindle. However, that may be difficult because I've just done Stuffy Kindle Day and there's certain books that I have to read for video projects. So where I can, I'll use the top 20. Obviously I'm playing Pickpong, so there's gonna be TBR prompts that I need to fulfill. So if I don't have one on my Kindle already to fulfill that, I will have to go to my physical collection, but I'm gonna do my very best to try and do as many books on my Kindle as possible. I just finished a book on here yesterday, so I'm ready, clean slate to continue. So I'm very excited. There is, however, one book that I will need to read physically in the month of May, and that is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I'm doing this read along that is hosted by Claire and Brittany, I think, as well. There might be some other co-hosts, but they're the two that I'm springing to mind. This is the second in the Elsie Silver Reckless series, I think is the name of the series. No, it's not. I did this last month. The series is called something, it's the name of the ranch. Why do I do this to myself? Oh, Addie's up and she's just heard Grandpa, so she's excited. But yes, Heartless by Elsie Silver will be the one that I have to read physically because I only have it physically and I'm not gonna buy a Kindle copy just to read it on my Kindle to complete the MAYhem. So I will be reading this separately. So I will not be reading 21 books in May, that's just not gonna happen. But every every other book that I will read on my Kindle, and then Heartless will be the one that I read physically. This means obviously my 24 books in 2024 are not going to get touched this month unless I have a Kindle version as well, which I don't think I have for many of them, so we shall see. But I'm very, very excited to jump into the throes and find out what I'm going to be reading. So I'll do that later, and Future Crystal will be back to tell you about what I'm going to be reading for what prompt. I'll probably look completely different because at the moment I'm still in my tracky pants. I'll be probably getting dressed for the day because we're doing renos and getting my furniture all moved back around. So filming of the prompts and the exit will probably be in front of my newly, freshly revealed shelves, which will finally be organized. I'm so excited. Anyways, I'll see you then. Bye.
Okay, so it is now the next day and you're gonna hear all kinds of noise in the background because Adeline is here, so I apologize. So it is time to jump into our throws. Before we do that, I need to tell you about how I went last month. I have officially finished my entire TBR for last month, as well as extra books. There is one book from my TBR that I swapped out. The book that started with F and ends in S, I ended up swapping out for 5 Broken Blades, which I am currently 50% through. So I'm counting that as a success. So, because even if I DNF it, it still counts, and I'm not going to DNF it, I'm loving it, and there's still about 4 days left in the month. So I get to start with a reward this month, and I also get to carry over one of my -1 misses. Oh my god, I cannot film with that sizzling. It's going to be right in the background of my video. The sizzling of your onions. It's so loud. Here I am worried about Addie being loud, and I can hear this in the background.
I'm trying to eat breakfast.
Oh, man's been awake since 5 a.m. chooses to cook breakfast now. Look, you're just gonna, look, it's ASMR, guys. You're gonna hear Anthony's onion sizzling in the background because I ain't waiting to film. Okay, so my reward that I am starting with is +1 life, which will be fantastic because that means that if I get 5 misses, I get to drop that back down to 0 and not have to add an extra book. So if you're unfamiliar and you need to like recap on the new rules, the playlist of Pickpong is linked down below. You can go and check it. But for now, let's just jump into throw number 1. So prompt number 1 for the month of May for the Kindle MAYhem is eat something with honey and share it. This is the honey prompt for the Bookemon prompts. If you're unfamiliar and haven't been watching the entire year of 2024, I have substituted my prompts out for the Bookemon prompts to try and complete the Bookemon readathon for the year. So this one is actually a lifestyle prompt. I chose to keep these in rather than not have them included. I will be able to tick this off quite easily because I have honey drizzled on my morning breakfast most days. So yay. And as the new rule applies, this stays to the side. We do not replace that cup unless I get 5 misses, and then I bring a cup back in. So the next prompt we are going to be getting for May is so prompt number 2 for May is Professor Merb's favorites. This is fantastic. Merb, aka Reading with Merb, is the host of the Bookemon Readathon. It is so good that I got her favorites. They are all, like the announcement video for that is linked down below if you want to go check it out. I'll have to look at her faves list, but I have a feeling quite a number of them are already on my TBR, so I should have no problem. And I think they're on my Kindle TBR, so this might work out really well for Kindle MAYhem. Time for prompt number 3. This is going too well. And prompt number 3 for May is book club. Oh my god, this could not have come at a more perfect time. The only book that is on my physical TBR this month that I like absolutely have to get to is a read-along book club pick that I am continuing with some people. So we already know what I'm going to be reading for this. Time for prompt number 4. And prompt number 4 is fuck, oh, this could not have come at a worse time. So prompt number 4 is one of those Bookemon prompts that requires you to read 3 books. So I have to read 3 different books, and all 3 books have to have a different shade of red on the cover. So that's not good at all because although my game isn't making me add extra books, this prompt is. So I'm gonna have to find 3 books on my Kindle that have different shades of red, because I had 3 books put aside for this on my physical TBR, but I haven't thought about my Kindle. So this will be interesting to see what I come up with. Okay, time for my 5th and final prompt, and we've currently only got 2 misses. Okay, so my 5th and final prompt for May is to read in bed. Wait, I got this last time. Did I get this last time? I feel like this lifestyle prompt has already come up, but I could be totally wrong. Just in case this has already come up and it's a lifestyle prompt, to make things interesting for myself, I'm just gonna pull another prompt out of my prompt bucket and use that as my prompt as a book. So I will still read in bed, but I'm gonna have another prompt. Even though I'm adding 3 books with one, I just feel like, I wanna get to my 5. So let me grab another prompt, hold on. Okay, so my 5th and final prompt for May is another lifestyle prompt, which is take a photo and share of a cute animal. Okay, I'll do that too, but let me get another book prompt. Okay, so it is the chicken prompt, which is a yellow, orange, black, or white on the cover. That will work. All right, let me have a think about which books I'm going to use to complete all these prompts, and I will talk to you shortly.
Okay, let's talk about which books I'm going to be reading. So the first prompt that we got that was actually a bookish prompt was Professor Merb's fave. So with this one, it was actually quite difficult. There's a lot of books on her list that I want to read, but none of which I had on my Kindle except for 2 options. These were Black Sun and Mexican Gothic. And so I went to my friends and was like, hey guys, help me decide. And the first person to respond was Reading Minerva. She came back and said Mexican Gothic. Then everyone else quickly followed and supported this decision. So Mexican Gothic is going to be the book that I'm going to be reading for Professor Merb's fave, which I have wanted to read this for a really long time. I've just been worried because of how high the expectations are for this book. All I know about it is it's kind of a spooky book and it's got great representation. I don't really know anything else about the plot, and I kind of want to go into it pretty blind, so I'm going to keep it like that. I didn't reread the caption. I just made the decision based on cover alone, based on what was on her favorite and what I knew I had on my Kindle. Next up, we got book club, and for this one, we all knew what I was going to be putting on here, and that is Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Why Can I Never Remember the series when I need to stand in front of this freaking camera? Chestnut Springs. It is the Chestnut Springs series. This is book 2. I'm doing a read along of this with Claire and Brittany and a few other people. And book 2 is up in May. So I really enjoyed book 1. I gave it 5 stars. It made me cry. I absolutely adored it. So we are going to be picking up book 2 in May. Super excited for this. This is the only book that I will be reading physically in May. Everything else will be off my Kindle. Then we got the fun prompt that was 3 books with different reds on the cover. So for this one, I decided to kind of do things a little bit differently. So the way that the Kindle MAYhem works is obviously to pick the 20 most latest books or most recent books on your Kindle, or your 20 books that you have checked out for KU. I don't have KU anymore, and there is a lot of books on my Kindle, and I added a bunch recently. So I figured rather than using the 3 most recent that have red on the top cover, I would put my entire Kindle TBR, anything that had a red cover, onto a spinner wheel, spin it. I got to choose 1, and then the other 2 were decided by the spinner fate wheel. And that's how I did it, because obviously this was usually meant to be a 1 book prompt. It turned into a 3 book prompt, and I decided to kind of have control over 1 and not control over the others to kind of make up for the fact that I wasn't reading my 20 latest editions. But it was because I wanted to try and get to some of like the backlist as well, rather than stuff I only added last week. So the way that the spinner wheel works, the first one that I personally chose myself is a book called Elevator Pitch. I was told this by one of my other friends. It was like one of their favorites. It sounded very much like my kind of jam. It's a, what is words? It is a thriller by Linwood Barclay, and how it works is there is a mysterious elevator that like jumps to the really high and then drops to the bottom. A whole bunch of people die in it, and then this starts happening all over the city, and we're not sure why. Then we went to the random generator wheel, and the first spin ended up like this. And as you can see, it picked The House with Chicken Eggs. Now this is the middle grade that I've had on my TBR since Gav from How to Train Your Gavin was raving about it. I need to get this read. It's been on there for far too long. I know absolutely nothing about this other than I have a feeling it is very much like Baba Yaga,
all the story of Baba Yaga? I have no idea, but it's going to be a fantasy-based middle grade, and I kind of haven't read a lot of middle grade lately, so it'll be nice for something a little bit different. Then we did the spin again, and this is how it went. And we ended up with The Secret Messenger by Mandy Robotham. And this is a historical fiction that I have had my eye on for a really long time. I have a feeling it is based on a true story of someone involved in World War II being a very big spy under somewhere. I don't know. It's Mandy Robotham, that's why I picked it. She was an historical fiction author for me when I first added this to my Kindle. I have a feeling I actually got this through NetGalley, if I recall correctly, so sorry that I haven't reviewed it yet, but here's my chance. Then we have the yellow, orange, black, and white on the cover, and for this I am going to be reading The Bandit Queens by Parini Sharoff, and this is someone's favorite book, and that's all you need to know because I'm not going to go into it any further because it's for a secret project. But I will be reading this, going into it absolutely blind, just being told that I should read it. So we shall see how it goes. So there you have it. I have a total of 7 books on my TBR for the month. I'm excited. Most of them have audiobooks, so I should be able to smash this out and get another pass. I'm very, very excited. I have a variety of things on here. We have some historical fiction. We have some literary fiction. We have some thriller. Oh, there is one extra book that I couldn't get on my Pickpong TBR that I do have to read for the month, which I'll tell you guys about, which is Wolf Gone Wild, which is a fantasy romance following a werewolf and a witch, I believe. I have no idea. Again, this is another person's favorite that I'm just jumping into and giving a red hot crack. So there you have it, guys. That's what I'm going to be reading for the month of May. Lots of variety. I'm very excited. There's a few days until May starts and I cannot wait. Who knows what I'm going to start with. Let me know in the comments down below what you think I should start with. Let me know what you're reading in the month of May. And if you have made it this far and you want to be a little bit chatty but you have nothing to say, then you can drop a witch emoji in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to support my channel and help it grow. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend and happy reading. Bye!